Hello, I'm Jeff Barak, and with me at the Amdocs booth at Mobile World Congress today is Larry Goldman, Head of Telecom Software Research at Analysys Mason. Larry, thank you for joining us.
Hi, thanks.
Here at Mobile World Congress, we've been hearing a lot about digital transformation. I'd be interested in your view of how successful are service providers being in their journey towards a digital transformation, and what do they really need to do to succeed?
Well, that's a very interesting question, and I think that we do know, in terms of being successful, the service providers are taking this very seriously, that they're working hard at it, they're embarking on the journey. We think there's three important aspects of the digital transformation journey. One aspect of it is making their current businesses, being communication service providers, more digital, providing a more digital experience for their customers, having an app for that, having APIs for their business customers, being more agile, more responsive. So that's a very important thing. Another aspect is for them to get into new businesses, to be able to offer new kinds of capabilities and services. That's very more oriented toward content in the near term, but position themselves to do more things in the digital economy. So that's the second thing. And the third important aspect of this is this is all enabled by virtualization, which gives them a lot of the ability to be more agile, to be more responsive, to introduce new services more rapidly.
Thanks, Larry. So to pick up on a couple of these points, how successful do you think they're being in terms of diversifying their business? And also, are they really improving their service agility?
So I think we're in the early stages. If you want to say how successful are they being, I think that, again, I said they're taking it seriously, they're working hard at it, and we see the effort going forward. I think that we see some service providers have done very well at being closer to their customers, to be more enabling of their customers to be able to control their environment and things like that. So I think they've taken that part very seriously. I think the part about diversifying into new businesses has been very difficult for them. I think there's been a lot of attempts at this, and many people have retrenched and come back and say, well, what's the real opportunity to me as a service provider? And I think what we see is the core of the capability still is you've got a network and you're good at it and so forth. And you've got to look at things, how can I expand from that still lean into things that I'm really good at, as opposed to trying to go off into an altogether different business. So I think the challenge for service providers is to move into new areas, but retain the things that differentiate them and leverage their unique capabilities.
And service agility?
Service agility. So I think people are taking that issue very seriously. They realize that the old mode of I spend 3 years building it and then I start offering services just doesn't work. So, and I think that at the core of that is cloud-enabled services, virtualizing the network. These are things that allow them to create a more open environment of their own, and to build the operational processes to change so that they can take advantage of that. It's both technology and process change that they're doing to be more agile. So I think that they're making progress here.
And another area, of course, is big data analytics. How much do you think service providers are maximizing the potential of big data analytics and becoming data-empowered organizations?
So I think that it's an area of, certainly we've been hearing for quite a few years. Service providers have been saying, oh, we're really taking this seriously. I think that I think maybe there's three aspects of this that we want to think about. One is, they have invested in the technology, and do they have the capability of dealing with this? And I think the answer to that is yes. Big investments in the big data, analytics, technology, and so forth, like that, they're prepared in that regard. I think a second part of it then is, how do they use the data and so forth? And I think there's a certain reluctance. Operators feel an obligation to protect some of that data and respect the customer's privacy. And I think that they're still struggling with what's appropriate for us to do. I think, there's a regulatory regime for most operators, and there's a concern about what is the regulator. So I think operators are in a different position than, say, an Amazon is about how they use the data, and they're still working with that. But I think the third part of it then is, given you have to work through all that, are they actually put that into use? And I think that they are putting it into use in things like better customer experience management, things that are related to the network. What they're not yet doing that we think they can is do more around, say, advertising and things that are more customer facing. And I think they still have a long ways to go in that aspect.
That's great. Larry, thanks for your insights and for spending your time with us. Thank you.